Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to talk about some local history again here in Michigan. We're going to talk about White Rock. So White Rock is actually a rock, and there's a roadside park up on M25 just south of Harbor Beach. And there's this rock that sticks up out in the water, and they call it White Rock. So I have some photos here. You can actually see it. This is a view from the roadside park of the rock. Here's a little bit farther from that park. And it's about a half mile out in the water from the shore. So we're going to talk a little bit about the legends that go with this rock and some of the history with it here that comes along. So Native Americans, they used White Rock as a landmark for finding places they knew where they were when they were within the water. So they used all sorts of landmarks. White Rock was one of them. And they actually felt the rock was sacred, so they would put offerings out there on the rock. Things that they used was food, fresh meat, game they had caught, that type of stuff. And it became eventually a boundary marker for the Treaty of Detroit in 1807 between the white settlers that were here in Michigan in the Thumb region and the Ottawa, Chippewa, Wyandot, and Potawatomi Indians. So eventually in the 1800s, a city grew up in this area, which I did not realize there was actually a city there. It was destroyed in the 1871 Great Fire. So there was a fire in 1881 also, 10 years later, that destroyed huge portions of the Thumb. I'm talking huge portions of the Thumb area. Very little of the Thumb was not burned in 1881. 1871 fire was almost the whole Thumb again. So prior to. And so this city was destroyed. And they just never rebuilt it to what it used to be and what it was. Now when I drive through, I don't even realize, because I go up through the Thumb a lot in the summertime, didn't even realize that there was a city, White Rock, that was there. And originally there was a lighthouse that was there that was built in 1856 that burned again with that fire. In 1996, a resident in the area decided to build a house. We have a picture of it here. And they built a lighthouse with it. It's actually a light tower. It's not really a lighthouse. It's not used as a lighthouse because they don't need that anymore with all the new navigation that comes with the ships anymore. So, there's another legend that goes with this White Rock, and that is in 1860, some settlers had decided they're going to go out and dance on it. Two couples went out, so there was 4 people, and even though the Indians had warned them not to do that, they went out anyways. One of the men decided they were not going to get out of the canoe and dance. So, as legend has it, lightning struck the rock and killed the 3 people that did get out and danced. So, there was the one man that was left to tell the story. And this is another thing. White Rock used to be huge. It's really shrunk from what it was. And part of the reason it has shrunk is, of course, erosion happens. Lightning strikes to it. And also here's an interesting fact that I did not realize, but I have heard since I started talking to some people about White Rock. But during World War II, they used to send planes up here to drop bombs on it. So they were using White Rock as target practice. So that was kind of an interesting thing. So if we actually look at a map of Michigan, you can see here we are in Port Huron. You come up Michigan 25 here, and you'll go past Port Sanilac. You can see White Rock. And this little logo talks about there's a roadside park. And here's Harbor Beach. So it's way up, getting closer to the top of the Thumb. So I hope everyone enjoyed a little bit of this history of White Rock. I am going to share out this site. I'm going to add that too. It has a little bit more history of the rock and some photos to it that if you wanted to go and read a little bit more, it will also be there and linked to this video. Have a good weekend, everyone.